One of Horace's favorite stories is about Minnie and Mike Sweettooth. One fine spring day, Minnie and Mike went on a picnic in the woods. When they were settled under a putu tree, Minnie began to unpack their lunch. Now, I must explain that Mike had seriously been thinking about getting married. He timidly got down on his knees and began in a quavering voice. "Minnie, dear, please give me your wing." Being a bird, she had no hand. "I need it desperately." "I'm very sorry, my love," replied Minnie, "but it's quite impossible. I forgot to bring the knife." "Oh, I don't mean that," sputtered Mike. "I want your wing in matrimony." "Macaroni!" cried Minnie in dismay. "I forgot that too." "Minnie," shouted Mike, jumping to his feet, "I want to marry you." "Well, you needn't be so blunt about it," said Minnie icily, with her head held high. "Oh, no," groaned Mike, sinking back to the ground. Despite all the confusion at the picnic, Minnie and Mike decided to get married. Minnie fairly flew home to tell her parents. "Mom, Dad, I'm getting married," squeaked Minnie. "Who?" squawked her father. "Who?" chirped her mother. "Why, Mike, of course," sang Minnie. "Mike," screeched her mother, "if you think you are going to marry that young nincompoop, you're crazy. Just get that idea out of your head." "Out of your head, out of your head," echoed her father. Later that night, Mike whispered as he peeked in at Minnie's window, "Minnie, Minnie, are you ready?" "Yes, Mike, I'm ready," she whispered back a little hesitantly. She was afraid they would be discovered. They climbed down the ladder, stood on the branch a moment, then took flight. Their suitcases were a heavy burden, but they didn't dare land until closer to the church, for fear they would be caught. Minnie and Mike landed and quietly entered the church. They set down their bags and looked cautiously around. Sure enough, Proffy was there to perform the ceremony. Back at Minnie's parents' nest, all was still until... "Do you think we've been wrong in forbidding Minnie to marry Mike?" cried Minnie's mother. Was the sleepy answer. "Wake up, you lazy sleepyhead. This is no time for sleeping." "Well, it's midnight," grumbled Minnie's father, "and that's sleeping time for me." "I'm going up to tell her she can marry him," fussed Minnie's mother. She flew up the stairs. At the top of the stairs she stopped and burst into tears. "She's gone," she sobbed, "and all because we wouldn't let her get married." "Oh, don't worry," chirped her husband, who had come flying to her. "She's just eloped. If we hurry, we can get to the church in time to see the ceremony." They quickly dressed, flew to the church, and opened the door. Minnie looked so sweet in a white veil. She was clutching a bouquet of lollipops shaped like lilies. Proffy was saying, "Mike will now give Minnie the ring." Mike solemnly drew out a lifesaver and placed it on one of the feathers of her wing. "I pronounce you bird and wife," said Proffy. Mike grabbed Minnie and tried to kiss her. It was very hard, as their teeth got in the way. He finally managed it, though, and they ran for the door. Minnie's parents rushed in and congratulated them. "So you see," said Horace, tapping out the bubbles from his pipe, It ended happily after all. What did Minnie Sweet Tooth give Mike on their wedding day? Fig marshmallow baby Ruth, Clark Dove Mountain Milky Way. She gave candy bars. Now Mike was a clever fellow. When his turn came around, he gave spice fruit short and yellow, pen, funnel, carrot, marble, fudge, pound. He gave her cake. Their friends joined in their dream, and here is what they got 'em. Moon, lemon, mud, Boston cream, pecan, Eskimo, and black bottom. They gave them pies.